Surana, and I am here today with yet another session. What we are looking at today is the second lecture of Quadratic Equations. This is in continuance to yesterday's session. So if you haven't already watched the session that I had taken yesterday, please keep that in mind that you'll have to watch it probably after the end of the session, right? Do not forget to watch it. Yes. And today has been a very confusing kind of a day, right? A very confusing kind of a day. Yes, anyone from Maharashtra, yes, especially the coastlines of Maharashtra, anyone, Mumbai, somewhere around Pune, anyone. I understand that there have been massive rains. It's extremely windy. People, I've seen videos of people, being flown away, right? So. I hope you guys are doing well, and everyone your friends, relatives, anyone who is in one of these affected areas, I really hope that they are doing great as well. So I'm gonna quickly check on the chat. So many people here, right? Hi Kalpit, hello Pranav, good evening. Hi Shristri, Jagrati, Ayushi, Vibhor, Sheetal, Chandana, Kalpit. Hi guys, hello. Good evening everyone. Hello Rami, good evening. Right, hey Prince. Hi Ram. Great, so many people here today. If you think anyone who usually attends these sessions but is currently missing, a small call or a text would actually make a big difference. Yes, not only for me but also for them, right? They would actually consider the fact that you reminded them of something beneficial that's happening today. Yes, great. Super. So let's go ahead with today's session. Yes. Right. So many people. Harsh, Archana, Neeraj, Anuj. Hello, guys. Hello. Okay, let's get on with this. Yes. So if there's anyone who does not know me, which I do not think are many left, but still I am obligated to introduce myself. My name, ladies and gentlemen, is Amit Surana, and I am an aeronautical engineer from Chennai. And I have over 5 years of teaching experience, which soon is going to turn 6. And I have helped over 2 lakh students achieve everything that they had in their mind career wise. If you're planning on sharing this on any of your social media platforms, guys, I've seen so many of you doing it. Yes, so many of you doing it. So many of your friends have also looked at it and joined. That's a very good thing. Yes, so if you know anyone who you think could be benefited by this, right? Whether they are your friends on social media or not, if you know anyone who you think are not, extremely well to do and cannot afford a paid subscribed classes elsewhere, or could not go a step outside of their homes, probably because of one of these reasons, right? I don't know, there's so many reasons right now, I can't even name them, right? But due to any reasons, if they are not able to get the education, get the learning, get the practice, get the knowledge that they deserve, if you think you know someone like that, please go ahead and share with them. Let them know that this is happening here. Yes, and this would be a very good chance for all of you to prove how good of a citizen, how responsible of a citizen, and beyond that, how responsible human being you are. Yes, so if you've always had a thought that have I done anything for the society, this could be a start. Yes, so go ahead, share this on your social media platforms, let everyone know. Yes, also tell others about it. Probably, if you have helpers at home, or if you know someone who can be benefited by this, yes, please go ahead and let them know about this. Yeah, and when you share this on your platforms, do not forget to add hashtag live cat live daily. Yes, and do not forget to tag me. Yes, also if you have anything to talk about with me, yes, you can go ahead and hit me up. Yes, This is my Instagram ID. I'm also available on Twitter, on Telegram. You can always hit me up on that. Yes, Surana Live is my ID. This is my handle. Yeah. Right. Ram, of course, we will look at the homework question. Yes, I would have rather, helped you on a more personal platform, but since we are just getting used to the whole homework culture, right, especially during my sessions, right, we'll try and make it a daily practice that we come up with more questions, yes, and help us practice, right. So after sesh practice is extremely important, guys. Yes, so you learn something, yes. So the three steps of learning something. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick I'm going to give you a quick understanding of learning psychology here. Okay. So there are three steps. Only after the third step is completed, you can be sure that you've learned something, right? The first step here, guys, is listening or watching or reading, whatever, right? So I'm going to write listening, which would cover everything, right? Listening, watching, basically absorbing of information. Yes, so when you absorb information, right, when you absorb information, it is only on the top layer of your memory stack, right? It's on the top layer of your memory stack, and this is something that you should know, right? Our memory works both ways, right? First in, first out, first in, last out, both ways. Yes. So what happens is here, when you listen or when you absorb some kind of information, it's on the top rack. Yes, it's on the top shelf, and it easily gets slipped off, right? So if at all you were to make some space, right, this is the place where your brain would. Yes, the second step here would be guided learning. Yes, that we are doing it right now, right? Guided learning is what I'm helping you. I'm throwing a question to you, and I'm also helping you answer it. Yes, so I'm not just giving you a question and just walking out of it, right? I'm giving you a question, I'm also helping you solve it. Yes, so that's called guided learning, where it's almost like you hold the hand of a toddler or a kid, and teach them how to write. Yes, it's kind of like that, right? So handheld learning, this is called, or guided learning. The third step, right, the third step where you do it on your own, right, unguided learning. Yes, unsupervised learning. This is what would help you, right? Unsupervised learning. Yes. So under unsupervised learning is when you can confirm, right? So if you've learned something without the supervision, without the guidance, without someone hovering around you, someone watching over you, that if you're doing it right or wrong, right? When that is not there, when nobody is looking at you, is when you are at the truest form. Yes, so that is what would ensure, right? So these three steps, in the same order, of course, right? These three steps, yes, ultimately would lead to what? A successful learning. Yes. So if you are someone who is intended on learning successfully, yes, not learning for the sake of it, not learning because someone is talking, not learning because, okay, someone is helping me to do it, not learning because I can do it on my own, but a complete package of this, right? So successful learning is what will ensure that you contain whatever you absorb throughout your life. Got it? Yes. Superb, guys. Great. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Yes, I think I've given enough gyan, right? Enough psychology, enough of my philosophy I've given, right? If you really think this is something that is true, right? Not only in your case, but in general also, right? If it's specific to your case also, yes. If you think this is true, please go ahead and share this with your people, right? Share this with your folks, share this with your friends, share this with your followers if you're running a page. Yes, let them know that what we do here would ensure a successful learning. Yes. Okay, today's agenda, ladies and gentlemen, is in continuation with yesterday. So yesterday what we had looked at was what quadratic equations are and how you would solve them with respect to or using the root formula or the quadratic formula, right? And we had also looked at the importance of the discriminant. Yes, that it would decide, yes, it would decide what kind of roots would the equation hold. Yes, today's agenda, ladies and gentlemen, is to talk about the sign of roots. Yes, now this is much like a shortcut, right? So this is a massive shortcut which is actually put in a very small bundle. Yes, something that will help you eliminate maximum answer choices when it comes to questions that deal with solution of the quadratic equation, right? So please keep in mind, I'm going to give you a trick alert. Yes, that means today we will be looking at a trick. Yes, a very well-known trick, at the same time very well-known, at the same time extremely useful. Yes, especially for the questions that we've seen yesterday, right? And I've known that a lot of you have spent a little more over 1 minute. Yes, to be frank, for those questions you should not take any more than 30 seconds also, but anyway, right? So that's one thing that we're going to look at. Number two, what we will be looking at is factorization. Yes, so this would be the second method, the alternative to the quadratic formula. Yes, where you factorize the given elements in an equation and you find out the roots for it. Yes, so here we will also be looking at the standard formula, standard form of a quadratic equation, which involves the roots. Yes, so anyone who has learned it as sum of the roots and product of the roots, voila. Yes, and the third thing, towards the end of the session, what we are going to learn is how to form equations with the help of given roots or given information on roots. Yes, so are you all amped for the session? Are you all ready for the session? Do you think that this session would be helpful for you? If yes, then do not forget to hit like. Yes, so if you have the hopes of this session being extremely helpful for you, go ahead, immediately hit like. Give me a yes, show me your energy, tell me that you are ready for the session, and I'm going to quickly move to the next slide. Yes. If you haven't already joined our community, guys, do it right away, right? We are over 550 right now. Yes, there are 550 aspirants all having the same goal, right? Cracking CAT. And when I say cracking, not only like a small crack, but then smashing it, right? Stomping CAT is what I would like to say here. Yes, so if you also have that thought in mind, if you have also always considered CAT as your counterpart, yes, not as a friend but the other way around, yes, we are here to change your perception towards CAT, right? To change it from more of a hostile relation between you and the test to convert it into more of a friendly relation. Yes, so if you also always wanted to do that, then go ahead, join this particular community that we have on Telegram. Yes, and if you are someone who has always aimed for 95 percentile and above, right, and above, this is the place. This is one thing that will make it true, especially in a situation like this, right? In a situation like this, walking outside itself is a threat. Yes, so if quality content at the same time, guided learning at the same time, unguided learning, unsupervised learning, all three are done at the same place, which basically means this entire subscription, right, this entire package will guarantee a successful learning. Yes, so if you are someone who has always thought about what is successful learning and how would I bring that into my life, quickly go ahead, guys. Yes, take up a subscription. The amount is very affordable, I know. Yes, and if you use the code Surana Live, yes, if you use Surana Live, you would also get an additional 10% discount. Yes, please, guys, quickly download the app. Yes, the moment the session is over, download the app. Go and check through the content, right? Just surf through it to understand what is present there. Yes. Now let's go ahead. Let's get into our session in deep. Yes, quadratic equations lecture 2. Let's go ahead. Yes. Great. So here is what we're going to talk about first, right? The shortcut. Yes. Now, yesterday's question, I know a lot of you, right? I know a lot of you have solved it. Some of you have also shared with me what your solutions were, right? And I extremely appreciate it. Yes, a lot of you were right, some of you were wrong, but then you realized what your mistakes were and you quickly changed it, right? And at the end of the day, what matters is you learn in a specific way that will ensure it remains in your memory. Yes, and what remains in our memory? What remains in our memory more than something positive? Sometimes something negative also. Yes, it has a great impact on our memory, right? So if you've had issues, if you had troubles with answering the homework question yesterday, or answering the other two questions that we had dealt with, that that were related to sign of roots, yes, this particular table would help you clarify all those questions, right? So we know the standard form of any quadratic equation is what? Ax square plus bx plus c should be equal to 0, right? Only then it's an equation, otherwise it's just a function that could take up any value. Yes, but then since this is an equation and it must take up the value 0, yes, here is the standard form. Now, if the sign of b, yes, so when I say sign of b, I mean what? Coefficient of x, right? This would include whatever is b in itself. Yes, so if the equation given to you is, for example, 5x square minus 6x plus 3 is equal to 0, yes, you will have to ensure, you will have to keep in mind that the value of b is not 6, it is minus 6. Get it? Yes, this was a common mistake a lot of you had made yesterday, right? So I'm here to rectify that. Yes, so whenever you have situations, right, whenever you have situations where you have the sign of b and the sign of c to be positive, yes, both b and c are positive, then in that case the sign of your first root, now keep here x1 and x2 are given, right? Irrespective, okay, so I'm going to do it like this, right? Modulus of the first root, yes, absolute value of the first root would be greater than absolute value of the second root. For example, if your roots for any equation, not for this specific equation, for any equation, if your roots have been let's say minus 3 and minus 4, yes, so x1 would be what? 4. Do you get it? X1 would be 4 because modulus 4 is greater than modulus 3. Get it? Or modulus minus 4 is greater than modulus minus 3, and this would be the smaller one, x2. Clear? No confusions here, right? Yes, because that is extremely important. Otherwise, you would mess up the entire shortcut here, right? Okay, so trick alert, guys. Trick alert. Quickly pay attention to this. Yes. So if your value of b, or the sign of b and sign of c are both positives, then the sign of your first root, the greater root, would be what? Negative. Yes. And also the sign of your second root, that is the smaller root, will also be negative. Yes. So if at all you have an equation, right? If you have an equation that says 2x square plus 3x plus z, whatever, right? Z is a okay, let's not confuse ourselves right now. Yes, plus 4 is equal to 0. Yes, I'm just giving you an example, right? So if the roots here are x1 and x2, yes, both their values would be what? Negative something and negative something. Got it? If you have a quadratic equation where the value of b is negative, something like this, right? Something of this sort. The value of b is negative, but the value of c, the sign of c is positive. Yes, sign of b is negative, sign of c is positive. Then in that case, right, you would get two positive roots. Yes, so both your roots are going to be what? Positive here. Yes, are you able to follow me, guys? Yes, if at all you think you have any questions, any doubt, please go ahead and ask. Okay, do not worry. Got it? Yeah, okay. Now okay, so no questions then, I'm assuming, right? You're all able to absorb it. Okay, great. Now the third kind of equation where the coefficient of x is positive, but then the constant is negative, right? So if you have positive negative, yes, then in that case what would happen? Your roots, yes, the roots would be what? Positive and negative, which basically, sorry, the other way around, right? Negative and positive. Yes, so this would be negative, this would be positive, which means what? The greater value, right? The greater root, yes, the greater root would be negative. The smaller root, the lower root, the smaller root would be positive. Yes, and the other way around when you have two negatives, right? So when you have a quadratic equation where both coefficient of b x and the constant are negative, then in that case your greater root would be positive and the smaller root would be negative. Yes, got it. Yeah, so here, if you want to, rely upon your memory, right? If you think you can rely upon your memory, you can always rely upon your memory, right? So here, what happens? Plus plus would lead to minus minus, minus plus would lead to plus plus, plus minus would lead to minus plus, and minus minus would lead to plus minus. Got it? Do we have any questions revolving this? Anyone? Ram, don't worry, Ram, don't worry. Thoda sa patience. Yes, we will surely do it. Yeah, got it. Yes, great. Okay, now let's see where we can use this, right? And what best place than our one of the questions that we saw yesterday, right? So I'm going to use the same question, right? So this was the question we had used yesterday. Yes, let's see how we can use our shortcut here. Yes. So what is given? This is the given equation, right? So if we convert in the standard form, what do we have? 10x square minus x minus 2 is equal to 0. Yes, do you remember this? Yes, right. If you do not, don't worry. Just I've just expanded this equation. Yes, and I've made it ax square plus b plus c is equal to 0 form. Yes. So here, what do you see? Here, what do you see in this equation, right? What is the sign of b? The sign of b is what? Negative. What is the sign of c? It is negative. Yes. So when you have both signs to be negative, then what should you get? Yes, the x1, the value of x1 should be positive. Yes, the sign of x2 should be what? Negative. Correct. Which means the greater root should be positive, the smaller root should be negative, right? Now, as an advantage, what we have in our answer choice, is all the roots are same, right? The absolute value of the roots are same, but only changes have been made with the signs. Yes. So we want what? Greater one to be positive. So greater one out of these two is what? 0.5, right? So I'm going to rewrite this in such a way, yes, that I want positive 0.5 and I want negative 0.4. Yes. Which is the only answer choice that has it? This. We did not even have to solve. We did not even have to resort to factorizing, or we did not have to resort to using the quadratic formula, but we have the answer in what? 20 seconds. Yes. So something that you would probably have taken somewhere over 40-45 seconds. Yes, a lot of you also took a minute. What I have done is reduce the time, right? 1/3 of the time you were able to. So generally, if it would take you a minute, it only took you 20 seconds to answer it. Yes. So please remember, guys, not all tests are a test of your math skills, but also how well are you able to, get out of a situation. Yes. So if you think this particular trick was useful for you, right, go ahead and like and let me know that you've liked, right? Like because you like this trick. Yes. Ajit, 0.4 can also be considered. Yeah, so here what did I say? X1, right? The modulus of x1, absolute value of x1 must be greater than absolute value of x2. So which condition would satisfy it? Yes, modulus of 0.5 should be greater than 0.5 plus or minus whatever, right? Doesn't matter. Yes, this should be greater than modulus of plus or minus 0.4, correct? I don't know why is it tilting, but I hope you are able to read it, right? I hope I don't give a pain in your neck. If you want, I can rewrite this particular thing. Yes. So what is this? Modulus of plus or minus 0.5? Yes. Should be greater than modulus of plus or minus 0.4. Got it? Yes. Yes. Great. Superb, guys. Superb. So if you are someone who is able to use this in a question, right, then answer this question real quick. Yes, answer this question real quick. Do not take any more than 20 seconds, guys, because you have learned a trick that will reduce your time of solving to what? 1/3. Yes. Great, guys. Great. Yeah, Shiv, we will look into solving quadratic equation with the help of graphs. Yes, but for now, let's stick to what we have for plan, right? We will have a session where we deal with quadratic equation using graphs. Yes, right. Balram has answered, guys. Balram has answered. Is there anyone else who could beat? Who would be the second person, right? So apparently in this area, right, Balram Hay is the 100 percentiler. Yes. So who's going to beat this? Yeah. Any more answers? Any more answers? Okay, so many answers, so many answers. Most of you say D, A, C, B. Okay, now we have everything. Okay. Okay, we have everything right now. Yes. Let's try and see how we would answer this, right? Others, people who have not gotten the right answer. Yes, don't worry. Yes, just try to absorb whatever is happening, and then let me hold your hand and let me help you solve this, right? So what is this? This is the value of b, which means b is what? Positive. What is c? Negative. Yes. Now who can tell me what would be the signs of the roots if we have positive and negative? Anyone? Yes, positive and negative. Who can tell me what would be the roots of x1 and x2? Quick, guys, quick. Who can quickly tell me without looking at the previous screen, right? Without scrolling back or without looking at your notes, whoever can answer would be, someone who is using their memory to the right advantage. Yes, anyone? Yeah, superb, superb. Okay, okay. Some are right, some are wrong. Okay, don't worry. Yes, so what happens here when you have plus and minus, right? What do you have? The greater root should be negative, the smaller root should be positive, right? The greater root should be negative, the smaller root should be positive. Yes. So based on this, let's try and eliminate answer choices that will not fit in our profile, right? Let's eliminate answer choices that will not fit in the profile. So here, 1/3 is greater or 3 by 2 is greater? Obviously 3 by 2. Yes, why? Because here the numerator is greater than, this value is greater than 1. Yes, this will sustain. Yes. How about B? The greater root here is positive, so eliminate this. Yes. Similarly here, the greater root is positive. 3 is greater than 1 by 6, so eliminate, right? Now between A and D, one of these should be my answers. Yes. The fastest way to check if a solution is true, what would you do? Instead of solving this, yes, I would rather suggest you to reverse engineering this question, right? So instead of substituting 1 by 3 or 3 by 2 or 1 by 6, minus 3 seems to be the best number to substitute, right? So quickly go ahead and do that. 6 into 9, yes, minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to write this again so that you don't get carried away here. Yes, this would be the equation, right? So this is what? 6 into 9, that is 54. Yes, this would be how much? Minus 21 minus 3. Yes, do you think this is equal to 0? Yes, do you think this is equal to 0? Anyone? Yeah, obviously not, right? Obviously not. So this is not equal to 0. This means what? This means what? Our answer option D. Yes, our answer option D is wrong. Yes, this does not satisfy our equation. So option D is wrong. The only thing left is what? A. This has to be my answer, right? There's no way out. Yeah. So 20 seconds, probably 5-6 seconds extra, right? 5 seconds buffer for anything you would have to keep, right? So 20-25 seconds you have the answer to the question, right? Did not have to factorize, did not have to use the formula either. Yes. Also what you can do is to check if this is right. Yes, so this is only an extra step. Yes, I'm sorry, this is only an extra step, but if you think you have to do this, go ahead and do this, right? So what would you do? Quickly, let's check. Yes, let's substitute x to be equal to what? Instead of minus 3 by 2, I think the best way would be to substitute the value of x to be 1 by 3. Yes, so what would we have? we would have 6 into 1 by 3 square, that is 6 into 1 by 9 plus 7 into 1 by 3 minus 3 should be equal to 0. Yes. So quickly check this, let me know if this satisfies. Yes. We do not have a choice, this has to satisfy and this has to be the answer. Yes. Got it? Yes. Superb, guys, superb. Right, so what you have learned here, guys, ladies and gentlemen, what you have learned here is something that will help you cut down your time to 30 percentage. Yes, and increase your accuracy also. Yes. Okay, this was the question from yesterday. How many of you could not get the answer? First thing. Number two, how many of you could not get the answer in less than let's say a minute? Yes. How many were able to answer this in a minute? How many were able to answer this in less than a minute? And okay, just tell me how much time you took. Yes, for a question like this, how much time did you take to answer this? Superb, Kalpit. Yes. Thank you very much, buddy. So it did satisfy, which means that's my right answer. Yes. Okay, Vibhor has answered this in 20 seconds, right? So far the top number is 20 seconds. Anyone who has beaten this time record? Anyone? Okay, Divya says C, which is right. Of course, Divya, C is the right answer. Yes. Pranav took more than a minute. Do not worry, Pranav. Vibhor took 30 seconds max. Okay, plus or minus 20. Okay, got it. Yes. 45 seconds, which is also very good. Yes, superb, Jhansi, superb, Sheetal, Jeet, amazing. Yes, great. Bad boy. I hope that's not the name your parents have given to you. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, 45 seconds is very good. Yes, Kalpit took very less time. So less that he could not measure it. Yes, like a blink of an eye and he was able to answer it. Okay, superb. 25 seconds is okay. More than a minute, listen to me. Yes, so here what do you have to do? Yes, a few things that you'll have to keep in mind, right? Technically, how you would answer this is, this is something that cannot be factorized. Yes, 29. Yes, 29 is not a perfect square. Yes, which means this would lead to irrational roots. Yes, this will lead to irrational roots. Yes. So what would you have to do here? Is first things first, right? You'll have to first understand if this will give you an imaginary root or not. Yes, imaginary root or not, which means what? Using what? The discriminant. Yes. So if this is less than 0, which means what? This would give us imaginary roots. Yes. What is b square? 100. What is 4 times ac? What is 4 times 29? That's 4 times 30 minus 4. 120 minus 4 is 116. Yes. Is this less than 0? Is negative 16 less than 0? Hell yes, which means we will get imaginary roots. Yes. So one thing that is clear, we would get imaginary roots, which means this is not imaginary. A gets eliminated. Neither is option B imaginary. B also gets eliminated, right? Which means the ones we have in the list are C and D. Yes. Now here what would you do? What would be the remaining rest of the equation? Yes, you would have what? Minus B plus or minus root something. Yes. So minus B, which means I must get minus 10 or a factor of minus 10. Would you agree? Yes. Minus 10 or a factor of minus 10, because by 2a, a is positive here. Yes. Which means for a fact that it has to be negative, right? So which one is a factor of minus 10? Not 5. So eliminate this. Only answer choice left is C, and that's my answer. Yes. Do you get it? Yeah. No confusions here. Yes, so we did not solve it. What did we do? We actually went ahead with the answer choices. Yes. And there are faster ways of doing it also, right? There are faster ways of doing it also. The more you practice, right? The more you practice, this would get into your bloodstream. Yes. So when your brains are forced to think about something, yes, it will immediately come up with this particular thought. Yeah, great. Right, Balram, flash bano, but flashpoint paradox wale flash nahi. At least not first half of flashpoint paradox. Yes, okay. Great, superb guys, superb. So if you think this has helped you in any way, right? Answer this question in less than 30 seconds without breaking a sweat. Yes, we did not have to mug up anything. We didn't have to remember anything. We didn't have to absorb, tons of information to answer this. Just understanding the pattern. Yes, yeah. Also another thing that's a fact, right? Another thing that's a fact. Yes, another thing that's a fact is that you will obviously get the roots to be conjugates. Yes. So when you get roots to be conjugates, if you see what are conjugates basically means x1 plus x2. If this is okay, let's call it x plus y, right? If one of the roots is x plus y, yes, then the other root, right? Root 1 is x plus y, then the other root would be what? X minus y. These are called conjugates, right? These are conjugates of each other. Got it? Yes. Superb, guys. Superb. Great. So I am so glad that I was able to help you. I was able to help you get the answer in less than 30 seconds, right? Traditionally you would do it. Yes, anyone would take somewhere around 30-35 seconds with a lack of practice, right? With some practice you would take somewhere around 20-25 seconds. Yes. But this way you've just eliminated everything that's not possible and you've gotten the right answer. Yeah. Correct, Balram. Yes. Right. Okay. So if we are done with this, then this calls out for what? This calls out for a massive celebration, right? So we were not only able to learn a trick, but then we were able to use it in practicality, right? In life form. Yes. So cheers to that. And also a big toast to anyone who has their family or is currently stuck in one of the areas that are affected by nisarga. This one is for you, right? Stay strong, guys. Yes, Pranav. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that also, right? Don't worry. So when we get into forming equations, we'll talk about that. Yes. Super. Okay, guys, let's go ahead. Yes, let's go ahead with the next thing that we have in our list is what? Factorizing, right? How factorization could actually be a good replacement for the quadratic formula, and how could it not only help you get the solutions, but you can also use it the reverse way, right? The other way around to get the equation out of the given solution. Yes. So here, understanding that x1 and x2 are the roots. Yes, if x1 and x2 are the roots, then the root form of any quadratic equation can be written as what? X square minus x1 plus x2, that is sum of the roots. That would become the coefficient of x, plus the product of the roots would become the constant. Yes. So here in this case, the coefficient of x would be what? Minus of x1 plus x2, right? Provided you keep in mind that generally we write it as ax square plus bx plus c. Yes, you'll have to keep this in mind. This will play a very vital role in understanding factorizing. Yes. So this is what? Sum of the roots. This is the product of the roots. Yes. Yeah. Superb guys. Great. Okay, so now that we've understood this, right, let's go ahead and see. I know a lot of you have done this already, and a lot of you are very familiar with the concept also, right? So this would be a good chance for us to put that into use. Yes. Can you quickly answer this question? Can you quickly answer this question? Yes. Right. Okay. Shilpi, I understand you are so annoyed, so irritated that you chose to keep your caps lock on. Yes, which basically tells us the intensity of your frustration. But don't worry, don't worry. Uh, I will help you. I will help you. Right. If you would want to talk about your problems in detail, do not hesitate. Contacting me on any of my platforms. Right. Apart from your YouTube chat, I might not be able to give a one-on-one very effectively. But if you think you would require any kind of guidance, then feel free to contact me on Telegram, Instagram, wherever. Yes, or even better, plus. Right. So many answers, so many answers. Very good. Some say B, some say D. Okay, okay. All right. So first things first, guys. First things first, right? Never, never, ever forget what you've already learned. Yes. What have you learned? You have learned a shortcut. Yes. What was the shortcut? The shortcut was if the coefficient of B is negative and the coefficient of C is positive. Yes. Then what happens with the roots? Anyone? What happens with the roots? Yes, the larger root would be positive or negative. Who can answer this, guys? Yes, both should be what? Both should be what? Positive, right? Superb, guys. Yes. So if both should be positive, the only answer choices we have that is what? Option B, and we can actually move ahead with our lives. Yes, we did not even have to answer this question. We did not even have to solve this question because it was ready-made solved to us, right? Okay, so this very rarely happens, right? This very rarely happens that all the roots would be something that would, satisfy this particular condition, right? But then this can actually be used to eliminate maximum answer choices. So here we've eliminated maximum, which means all three wrong answer choices. Yes. Now let's see how we would factorize it, right? I understand a lot of you are already very familiar with factorizing. Yes, but let me show you how you would do it. Yes, if you have forgotten, right? Or if you are someone who is extremely pareshan with mathematics. Yes. Okay, so here, yes, here what would you have to do? Here what would you have to do? Yes, the product of the roots, right? The product of the roots is what? 35. Now here you have to understand, right? One thing that you always have to check is what? The coefficient of the second order variable. Yes, that is what is the coefficient of y square or x square or z square, whatever, right? Or in other terms, what is the value of a? Yes, if the value of a is 1, then you have a go ahead. You can directly take the constant, that is 35. Yes, split it into two numbers. Yes, split it into two numbers. That would give you the product as 35, but the sum should be what? The sum should be what? Negative of negative 12, right? Or if you don't want to confuse yourself like that, first split it in such a way that the product, right, that the product of the two numbers is 35, and the sum of the two numbers, right, sum of the same two numbers is what? Minus 12. For starters sake, if you don't want to get confused, right? So 35 is 7. 5 times 35 is a number that cannot have that is basically product of co-primes, right? LCM of 7 and 5. Yes. Now what do you know? 7 into 5 is 35. 7 plus 5 is 12. But what do we require? We require a minus 12, which means minus 7 and minus 5 should be what? These numbers, right? So how would you rewrite this equation now? You would rewrite it as what? Y minus 7 into y minus 5. Yes, or in other terms, the value of y would be what? 7 or 5. Yes. So if you don't want to do this one extra step, right? If you don't want to do this one extra step, then directly consider that the value of b you should get is not minus 12. The value of the product you should get is not minus 12. It should be plus 12, right? Minus of minus. Do you get it? So for this you can rewrite the root form, right? That is what? Y square minus x1 into x2 times y plus x1 plus x2, my bad, plus x1 into x2, right? This should be equal to 0, which means the standard form already has a negative. So if the sum itself is minus 12, which means the roots must be what? Positives. Got it? So the only answer choice that satisfies this is what? Option B. Clear? Any confusions here, guys? Anyone? Right, super. Mayur light gayi. Acha, maybe that's why it was buffering. Yes. No issues, Shilpi. You know my Telegram ID. You know my Instagram ID. Feel free to hit me up. Yes, I'll help you with anything that I can. Yeah. Okay. Now that we have done with this, yes, let's go ahead. Give another shot, real quick, right? Real quick. Give another shot. Give me the answer upfront, super fast. Come on, guys. What is the answer to this question? Real soon. Yes, do not take any more than 30 seconds to get the answer to this. Less than 30 seconds to answer this question. Super. Go ahead, guys. Yeah, so here the given equation is what? 4x square plus 4x minus 3. Yes. So if you notice, you cannot actually factorize minus 3 in order to get a sum as positive 4. Yes, which means something is fishy here, right? Something is fishy here. Yes, yes, okay. Harsh and Vibhor says C, Pranav says D, Neeraj says A. Okay, okay. All right, all right. So here, what did I say, guys? What did I say? The first check you always should do is the value of A. Is the value of A 1? No, it isn't. The value of A here is what? 4. Yes, which means you will consider what? The product of A and C. Yes, the product of A and C is what? 4 into 3 minus 12, right? You have to factorize minus 12 in such a way that you get the sum as 4, or if you're directly going for the roots, then the sum should be minus 4, right? What I usually do is, I write down what is the product of the roots separately, and then I go ahead with the numbers, right? So what number if I multiply, right? I should get a negative root, which negative, product, which means one of these have to be negative, the other has to be positive. The sum is negative, which means the negative value should be greater, right? So this is what? Yes, how much would this be? Minus 6 and 2. Yes, so these are my roots directly, right? These are directly my roots. So x, right? X would not be minus 6, ladies and gentlemen. X would be what? Minus 6 by 4. Yes, why? Because you had multiplied it with 4, which means you'll have to take it back. Do you get it? Yes. So minus 6 by 4 is how much? Minus 1.5. And so that is x1. X2 would be how much? 2 by 4, that is 0.5. Yes, so minus 1.5 and 0.5 is answer option C. That is my right answer. Yes. Got it? Yes. Okay, Mayur, what did you do? Exactly. Yes. The quotient of A, right? The quotient of x square or A value was not taken as 1. You had taken it directly as what it was given. Yes. Got it? Yes. Super, guys. Again, you could have answered this. You could have answered this as an alternative. Use the shortcut and substitute one of the answer choices that would remain, in voila, you would have the answer, right? Yes. Okay, now let's quickly go ahead, take a sip. Yes, take a sip, celebrate. How we have not only learned a good, shortcut, something that will, cut down your time to, 30%, and we've also learned factorizing. Yes, so cheers to that. Jeet, of course, Jeet, we will, yes, one concept at a time. Yes, but there will be, an event. If you go into the future, there will be an event where I will be teaching geometry as well. Yes, okay, guys, this one on the screen for you is a homework. Quickly go ahead, take a screenshot of this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is homework number 1. Yes, quickly take a screenshot of this so that I can move ahead with the next one that I have in the list. Yes. Shiv, of course you can use shortcut. I just wanted to show that the value of A must be maintained as 1. That is the reason I specifically took factorization method, right? You can use shortcut kahin par bhi use karo. Got it? Okay, now this is homework number 2, guys. Yes, I know I don't really like to use the term homework, but if it gives you any seriousness about it, then I'm all game for it, right? Here is another homework question. Quickly take a screenshot of this. This is the second homework. Guys, Kalpit, Harsh, Shreya, don't answer the homework one yet. Yes, everything has its time, has its place, right? So do it there. Yeah, I appreciate how quick, how fast you were, but then do it there. Okay. Right, so 2 homework questions so far. Now let's quickly jump into how to form equations, right? Again, to form equations, what would you require? You would require the sum and product form of the equation, right? That is what? X square minus the sum of the roots into x plus the product of the roots. They should always be equal to 0. Yes? Great. Okay, so let's try out this question, right? Let's try out this question here. What do we have? These are not answer choices. में से कोई गलत सही नहीं है, right? These are 4 sub questions, right? 4 sub questions. Okay. So A, let's try this out. Yes. So what is given? We have to find or form the equation. Yes. For what? When the roots are 9 and 4, right? So x1 would be 9, x2 would be 4. Yes. So what is the standard form of the equation, guys? X square minus. Please keep that in mind, right? X1 plus x2, yeah, into, or let's call this alpha and beta, if that would help us, right? Yes, क्योंकि x बहुत सारा हो रहा है, right? Don't worry, alpha and beta, yes, times what? X, because this would be the coefficient of x, plus c should be, so c would be here what? The product of the roots, of course, my bad. The product of the roots, yes, so that is what? Alpha into beta. This should be equal to 0, right? So let's quickly try out the first one. Yes, what are the roots? So what would be the equation for this, guys? Yes, x square minus alpha plus beta. 9 plus 4 is what? 13 times x plus 9 times 4 is how much? 36. This should be equal to 0, which means our equation is what? X squared minus 13x plus 36 is equal to 0. Yes, this is my first equation. Got it? Great. Let's try out the second one also, right? Okay, the second one, let's call the second one as homework. The second one is homework number 3. Yes, try this out. Homework number 3. Today we are actually going a little overboard on the homeworks, I understand. Yes. Let's quickly try the third one, right? The third one is what? Okay, third one would also be a homework. Yes, now that you've understood this, right? So 4 homework questions, guys. Very simple ones, would not take more than a minute in each case. It should not take more than a minute in each case, right? Let's try out the fourth one. Yes, iska screenshot le lijiyega, guys. Yes, please do not forget to take the screenshot of this, and I would really appreciate if you send me the answers to check. Right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Yes, I would actually be very glad if it is right. I'd be more glad than that if your answers were wrong, because then I would be able to help you, right? Okay, so here we have to assume that the coefficients of B are rational. Yes. Okay, so here what would we have to do? Yes, the same equation would remain, but the roots are what? 7 plus root 2, which means the other root would be what? A conjugate of that, which means 7 minus root 2. Yes, so this is alpha, this is beta. How would you make an equation out of this? X squared minus, what is alpha plus beta? 7 plus root 2 plus 7 minus root 2 times x. Yes, plus what is it? Product of these two, right? 7 plus root 2 into 7 minus root 2. Yes, this should be equal to 0. Yeah, so here what would we have? X squared minus, yes, plus root 2 minus root 2, which means you have 14x. Yes, plus what is this? A plus b into a minus b, right? A plus b into a minus b. What do you know about it? A plus b times a minus b, everyone knows for a fact, is what? A squared minus b squared, right? So a squared would be what? 49. 7 times 7 is 49. Minus, what is root 2 squared? Do not make the mistake of considering as this 2, right? This is root 2 squared, which is 2. Yes, this should be equal to 0. So our equation is what? X squared minus 14x plus 47 would be equal to 0. Yes. Do you get it? So this is what we moved ahead with an understanding, with an assumption that our quotients of B, right, would be rational. Yes, got it. Great guys, superb, superb. So anyone who was able to answer this amazing job, Sheetal, you might wanna check. Yes, you might want to check your answers. Yes. Sheetal, please check your answers. Everyone else, okay, Vibhor. Yes. No confusions here then. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Great, great. Superb then. Superb. Yes. So what we have managed here, is अच्छा विभोर मैं डर गया सोचा संबंधी नहीं है इसका और उसका क्या बोल okay okay got it yes so great guys so what we have learned today is how to use the shortcut to cut down the amount of time you would take for solving or getting the solution for a given quadratic equation number 1 number 2 we've used factorization and 3 we have also helped what achieve the third agenda for today that is get the equations out of it right although not directly some questions would be asked but if at all they were asked you're prepared for it yes thank you very much guys today's day was extremely beneficial extremely fruitful at least in my perspective yes I'm looking forward for your homework answers right there were 4 homework questions I'm looking forward for your homework questions right please hit me up on this particular id yes if you've gotten all 4 right yes also go ahead and share this on your social media platforms that you were able to do it in if you get the answer if at all you get the answer in less than 1 minute guys right all 4 homework questions if you manage to get it in less than a minute there's nothing like that yes so I'm going to quickly take a leave guys thank you very much yes you all know about the Unacademy subscription yes I'm going to quickly end up with telling you what my code is it is Surana live if you haven't already considered it guys please go ahead and do that yes yeah, okay, Jeet. Yeah, we'll try and accommodate somewhere, right? It's because of the lack of time, right? It's because of the lack of time we're not able to. But on plus, I ensure that there is a challenge thrown on a daily basis, right? So if you are anyway, interested in challenges, and if you think you really want to, challenge yourself, yes, if you're someone of that sort, then meet me on plus and we will take over a lot of challenges we'll try and overcome a lot of them there yes thank you very much guys good night you guys have been great with your responses yes and I really appreciate it thank you very much take care I'm going to see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. again yeah please do not forget to share this please do not forget to subscribe to the channel until then thank you very much good night